Hi friends, welcome back to another week of meal prep. So let's start with breakfast. We're going to be making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've just added some rings to my griddle. I've sprayed them so that the egg is easy to release. And then I'm using this because I want my eggs to be round. I'm going to be making some breakfast sandwiches and the bread is round. So if you don't have that, just go ahead and fry your eggs. I can be a little bit fussy. So I'm just going to flip these over. Once they're fried to your liking, go ahead and flip them over. And today we're using some Canadian bacon. These have less fat than traditional bacon, but you can use whatever bacon that you prefer. So once the eggs are done, I'm going to go ahead and take these off as well as the bacon, and I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. So here I'm going to be using some shrimp, and I've already gone ahead and seasoned them. And then I'm also going to be using some ribeye steaks. These are some thin sliced. These are going to be for dinner. So I'm just going to go ahead and just season them up with whatever seasoning that you have. It's nothing fancy. Black pepper, garlic powder, salt, oregano, a little bit of paprika, and then just adding a little bit of soy sauce just so that it helps to get the steaks browned. And so for the shrimp, I use just black pepper, salt, garlic powder, whatever you like, nothing fancy. So here I'm also going to go ahead and chop up some peppers. These are going to go with the steak for dinner. So I'm going to be making like a potato steak bowl. So I'm going to be also using some corn as well as some black beans. I'm just using frozen and canned corn, and then these are my sweet potatoes that I'm going to go ahead and peel and dice up. So you can also use rice instead of the sweet potato. I just love sweet potato, and I'm just using it in place of the rice this week. So here I'm just going to go ahead and dice these just in big chunks so that they resemble like fries. Here they are, perfectly done. So here is a close-up look of how I'm cutting these. And then I'm just going to go ahead and season these simply. Nothing too fancy, just a little bit of avocado oil. You can use whatever oil, black pepper, and salt. I'm going to toss these around, and I'm going to put these into my air fryer. But you can also just lay them out on a baking tray and put them in your oven 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until they're nice and golden. So my griddle is cleaned up now, and I'm just going to go ahead and add my shrimp to this. I'm going to go ahead and just let these go for about 6 minutes, 3 minutes on each side. These are jumbo shrimp, but I don't want them to be overcooked. And I'm going to be making a salad this week again. Last week's salad was so good. I'm just changing the protein this week. So these are done. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. Then since I have the griddle up, I'm going to wash it off and start fresh for my steaks. So I've just added a bit more oil to the clean griddle, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the steaks for another 8 minutes or so. These are thin, and you don't want them overdone. This is a good quality steak, and the longer you cook them, the tougher they become. So just 4 minutes on each side, and then they are perfect. And this is more than what I need for my meal prep, but my son will have some as well. So here are the potatoes. These are done. I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to add in my second batch. I did 2 batches. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and just add the peppers and the onions that we chopped up. I'm going to toss these around, and then the steaks are perfect now. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift these off and set them aside to rest. You want to go ahead and rest them before you chop them up and add them to your peppers later. So here we are. These look great. I'm just tossing the peppers, and these look good too. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and put the corn on the griddle here just to warm it through. Now let's assemble. This is for breakfast. I'm using the 100-calorie whole wheat English muffins. 1 slice of cheese. You can leave the cheese, omit it, whatever you like. And then we're just adding on our eggs and then our Canadian bacon. And this is done, nicely assembled. When I want to eat this, I could just warm this up in the microwave. So I'm just going to use some fruits on the side. You can use a different fruit for each day or the same fruit for each day. Whatever you like. You can also have some yogurt. This sandwich is not very high in calories if you're counting. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and assemble our lunch. Like I said, we're doing the salads again. So I've chopped up some romaine, and I'm adding on some mixed greens just to give the salad a little bit more pop. Then I'm just adding in my carrots and my tomatoes, some cucumbers. This week I left off the olives, which you can add the olives back if you want, and just less feta cheese. If you don't like feta cheese, go ahead and leave it off. And I do make a homemade dressing. I can leave that in the description box for you below. And I've just added 5 shrimp or 6 shrimp to each bowl. It's 6 shrimp per serving. So now for dinner, we're going to go ahead and assemble. Put your potatoes in and then your steaks. Just make room for your corn and then your black beans. This is going to be absolutely delicious. If you wanted a sauce, you could just use ketchup or whatever you like. Here we go. I just sprinkled on some cilantro and this is done. So we did meal prep this week, about an hour and a half. Not too bad, not too shabby. I didn't make a juice this week because my pineapples weren't ripe. So I'll see you next week. Bye now. Thanks for watching.